Hello everyone, we are live. It's that time of the month again. Today is December 4th, 2025, and welcome to this month's A&D Medical Live Q&A, where we answer all of your cardiovascular questions live. My name is Abraham. I'm an advanced medical practitioner and pharmacist, and the host of the YouTube channel here at A&D Medical, where we create science-backed health content focused on cardiovascular health and well-being. By the way, we go live every first Thursday of the month. So mark your calendars and don't forget to subscribe so you keep notified. And we're going to dive into your questions. Just a bit of housekeeping before I begin. All the questions I answer in today's videos have been submitted by viewers like yourselves through comments on our videos and our social media. So if you ever have a question related to blood pressure, heart health, anything else we cover, just drop a comment and I'll do my best to include it in this live session if you get it whilst I'm live. And if we don't have time or if you're doing a comment after it's gone live, don't worry. All these questions get written down and I will answer it in next month's live, which I think is actually January 1st, 2026. So I'll be seeing you in the new year. So I've got two screens open basically, just to let everyone know, two tabs. So I keep flicking back and forth. So if you leave a comment here right now, don't worry if I don't reply to you straight away. We've got a comment from Mohammed Arham. Thank you so much. Let's go. Let's begin. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so first comment. And this is from our video on how to actually take your blood pressure properly using a blood pressure monitor. It's come from Scooby Steve 2022. Can holding my breath or breathing differently change the reading of my blood pressure? Okay, so holding your breath, it can absolutely change your blood pressure readings. And when you hold your breath, even a few seconds, your body creates a stress response, right? And holding our breath actually causes carbon dioxide to rise, and then your heart rate increases, your blood vessels tighten, and that contribution, it can raise your blood pressure readings by about 10 to 15 millimeters of mercury, which is quite a lot. Also, remember, shallow or anxious breathing does the same thing almost. So many people do it without noticing, especially when they're having their blood pressure taken in the doctor's office, in an unfamiliar environment, they're feeling a little stressed, and it also causes it to go a bit higher as well. And I've had many patients actually in the past that do this without even realizing sometimes, holding their breath when they're having their blood pressure reading taken. It's some kind of response. They don't realize they're doing it. And, I've then told them to breathe normally and their blood pressure readings have come down quite significantly. So yes, thank you for your comment, Scooby Steve. And breathing matters. Stay relaxed, breathe naturally, and your readings will be more accurate. I'm just going to flick back and forth. Oh, wow, we've got quite a lot of comments coming through at the moment. SCP-731, locked in and looking forward. Thank you for the comment. And thank you again, Mohammed Arham Newman. I'm glad that you like everything we're doing on the channel. And Sir Safar, awesome content. I love the content that you make, and the A&D monitors are the best. I agree. Thank you very much for that. I'm liking it. We're getting really good comments and engagement already. So let's go back to some of the questions. Again, I'm flicking back and forth to tabs, so don't worry if I don't respond to you straight away. So next question is from Melody55. No, we'll come back to that. This is actually something I wanted to link to the last question from Scooby Steve about holding your breath. So slow deep breathing and what that does to your blood pressure, because I've seen it a lot. I've seen a lot of people on social media, YouTube, wherever, recommending for you to do slow breathing when you're having your blood pressure taken. So slow breathing is actually one of the simplest ways to lower your at the moment. And when you breathe slowly, what happens is if you breathe that around 6 breaths per minute, or even a bit more than that, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's your body's natural rest and relax mode, all right? So this helps your blood vessels widen and your heart rate settles and reduces overall tension, right? And because of this, slow, deep breathing can lower blood pressure by about 5 to 10 millimeters of mercury, right? And that's within minutes or two. So sometimes it can be useful, but one thing that I want to make everyone aware of is, because I've seen a lot of videos saying to do this whilst you're having your blood pressure taken. So I would avoid doing that. You should do slow, deep breathing sort of before you take the blood pressure reading, not during cuff inflation. And if you think about it, your blood pressure, it should really reflect your natural resting state, right? We want a natural resting state blood pressure reading. We don't want an artificial number lowered by a breathing technique that you wouldn't normally do throughout the day. So, I see a lot of these videos recommending to do that when you're having your blood pressure, and it's fine to do it before you've actually started to have your blood pressure taken. But when you've actually got your blood pressure monitor and you're using it, then you shouldn't really do that. You should just breathe normally and just relax. So slow, deep breathing is great to help you calm down beforehand. But remember, we want to get a true representation of your blood pressure reading, not this artificially lowered one. All right, let's just quickly go back. Oh, thank you so much. Sir Cephala has donated £5. That's amazing. Thank you very much for that. I'm really glad that you find this information helpful, and we really do try our best to give the most evidence-based health information with regards to blood pressure and cardiovascular health. So we really appreciate that. Okay, back to my other tab. So we're doing well, guys. This one is a really good question. It's come from Emma FC, and I think it's from our video on lowering blood pressure and natural ways to lower your blood pressure. Does vitamin D protect your heart? I've been asked this a lot, actually, by patients. So many people wonder whether vitamin D can protect the heart, especially because there's a lot of claims linking low vitamin D to high blood pressure, heart disease, and even early death sometimes. Now, vitamin D is best known for bone health, right? A lot of us know it, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this live right now, watching our health channel, who are interested in health, know all about vitamin D. But we've also found vitamin D receptors in blood vessels, in the heart muscles, and in the immune cells, which is why researchers thought that it might influence cardiovascular health. So population studies did show that people with lower vitamin D had higher rates of high blood pressure, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, heart failure, coronary artery disease, and higher mortality. And this is basically what raised that question, that is low vitamin D causing heart disease, or is it simply associated with it? And that's the most important thing I want everyone to remember right now. Now, there was a large randomized trial done, and there's been lots done actually, but the most well-known one is one called the VITAL trial. If no one's read into that, go and have a look at it. It's got some really interesting findings. And it was done on over 25,000 people. The participants were in the US, and it was done for more than 5 years. So it's a nice trial. And they found that low vitamin D did not reduce heart attacks or major cardiovascular events. So that's a big finding. I'm just going to have a quick sip of this water. By the way, if you didn't watch last month's episode, I forgot to bring some water and I had a really dry throat through the whole thing. So if you haven't watched that one, go and give last month's episode a watch, because you'll see me struggling with a dry throat. So anyway, so that VITAL study basically showed that low vitamin D did not reduce heart attacks or major cardiovascular events. So low vitamin D, and I want you to think about this, it might be more of a marker of poorer health, not a direct cause. Now there's two areas where vitamin D might still play a supporting role, but we need more research in it. And one that they found is heart failure. Some smaller studies have shown a possible improvement in heart muscle strength and inflammation in people who are vitamin D deficient, but evidence is still early and it's not definitive. And again, we need more research because these results can change in the future. It's just some findings. And another one is high blood pressure. Low vitamin D and higher blood pressure trials. The trials basically show mixed results, really, of a very modest improvement and some no improvement at all. So again, it's not definitive and we need more research, and it can always change in the future, these, because that's the beauty of research. We're always getting more data and more information. So I guess the question was, does vitamin D protect your heart? Right now, there's no strong evidence that supplements prevent, that vitamin D supplementation can prevent heart attacks, but correcting a true deficiency of vitamin D is still important for overall health. And generally, patients can take 1,000 units of vitamin D to 2,000 units of vitamin D per day quite safely, but always speak to your medical provider about it as well. We are going to actually do a full detailed video about vitamin D and its association with heart health and going through the research in a lot more detail on the A&D Medical channel. And we actually did some filming for that a few weeks ago. So it will be coming out in the future. So if you want to learn more about that, subscribe to the channel just so you are notified when those videos go live. I'm just going to flick over and have a little sip. Thank you for all the comments today, actually, guys. We've got a big turnout of viewers today. This is awesome. We're in the hundreds. Okay, so D. Henderson, 2007. I've seen a lot of ads for beetroot supplements. How do I know which one really helps lower blood pressure? That's a fantastic question. I advised against them. There's not enough studies supporting beetroot supplements. Instead, just have a balanced diet, a healthy, balanced diet. That's the most important thing. Healthy, balanced diet basically means that you're having nitrate-rich vegetables in your diet. And that's basically what beetroot supplements doing. It's high in nitrates, which can relax the blood vessels and help lower your blood pressure. So instead of taking these supplements that are unregulated and you can have side effects from them, stay away from them and instead just have a healthy, balanced diet. And by the way, we have a video on the channel and it came out last week or 2 weeks ago about the best diet and the best foods to have to help lower your blood pressure. So go and watch that. But again, you shouldn't treat a beetroot supplement as a treatment for high blood pressure because it doesn't work that way. If your medical provider or doctor has prescribed you medication for your blood pressure, you should always take that and not think to yourself, that supplement's probably going to be better for me because I'm going to have less side effects. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so I think the audio is good. Thanks a lot for letting me know. After this video goes live, we'll just clip that bit out that the audio got muted. So I just wanted to give everyone a quick update about A&D Medical's YouTube channel, because last month's show, I actually shared that the A&D Medical YouTube channel was selected as a finalist in the 5th Annual Anthem Awards, and it's chosen from over 2,000 submissions worldwide for our work in health, awareness, and education that we do on the channel. And today, I'm actually very excited to tell you that we've now officially been recognized with 2 major industry awards. So we've got a 2025 Anthem Awards with a gold winner for health, innovation, and impact. And also we are the platinum and gold video awards winner in health and awareness category. So this is on the A&D Medical channel. And I'm so happy to tell you guys about that because we worked really hard to get all this health information out there about blood pressure and cardiovascular health. And it's a huge milestone. Just to get the validation of the scientific evidence base and content that we create. And A&D Medical, I've talked about us all the time. You know, we've always been innovators. We invented the first digital home blood pressure monitor back in 1977. And now we've got blood pressure monitors that you know, look like this, like the Precision Check Pro device that are obviously a lot more, they've got a lot more technology in them. But we were the first major health, you know, biometrics measurement company to build a YouTube channel dedicated to trusted, clinician-led medical education for our customers and for our viewers around the world. And we're excited to keep that innovation and technology and delivering world-class, reliable health content. So honestly, it's a massive one. And thank you for all the comments. I'm just going to quickly give it a read and have a sip of this because my throat is getting dry again. Okay, so it's all about you guys telling me that there was no audio. And thank you, Megan Kleckner, for telling me that it was early in the beetroot conversation. And everyone's just sending lots of love to us. So thank you very much for all the comments. This is really fun. Honestly, the A&D Medical YouTube lives I look forward to them every single month. So thank you so much for everyone that's tuning in. Going on to the next comment. This is from one of our videos on taking your blood pressure accurately. And it's from Danny Jean. Does being cold or shivering make the blood pressure reading inaccurate? Okay, yes. Being cold or shivering can definitely affect your blood pressure readings. And we actually have experiments on the channel, on the A&D Medical YouTube channel, showing you this, where I actually took my blood pressure in a warm environment and in a cold environment, and we showed you what happens when you do that. Now, when you're cold, your blood vessels, they tighten, all right, to keep heat in. And that narrowing can temporarily raise your blood pressure. And that shivering also creates muscle movements that can make it even harder for the actual blood pressure monitor to detect your pulse accurately. So it's important to remember that. And that's why we always recommend to take your blood pressure in a comfortable, you know, temperature in your house, about 19 to 20 degrees Celsius. You should always try and keep your thermostat at that temperature for the house. That's around 68, 69 Fahrenheit. So it's always important to keep an ambient room temperature. I've seen it many times when I've done home visits for my own patients, and you go to their home and it's really, really hot and it's affecting their blood pressure reading. So it's really, really cold and it's also affecting their blood pressure. Now, the device that I've been showing you today, actually, the A&D Medical Precision Check Pro device, this actually has a built-in thermometer that actually measures the ambient temperature of the room. And this is actually a really good tool that our engineers at A&D Medical have actually put in our device here. And like I said, we're always bringing new technologies on our devices because it's kind of measuring that at the same time as your blood pressure. So you can actually see correlations that, hey, that day when my blood pressure was a lot higher, for example, the room temperature was really cold. So could that have contributed to it? And that sort of data is really helpful to have. So yes, room temperature, being cold and shivering, Danny Jean, can affect your blood pressure. All right, so we are going through it well. I think the audio is still working, thankfully. And we're going to go to the next question. This is from Atif Faisal. And it's one on our blood pressure cuff video. How often should you change your cuff or blood pressure monitor? This is a question I get asked a lot actually by patients. So most people think actually the blood pressure monitor. So I'll show you. So most people think the blood pressure monitor tends to wear out first, but actually it's usually the opposite. It's the cuff that generally goes before anything else. Now, higher quality brands like A&D Medical, for example, tend to last much longer because we use stronger materials, reinforced stitching, and with good care. You know, I've had A&D blood pressure monitors and cuffs for like over 15 years, and they still work perfectly fine. And I always say that to patients. I'm like, if you look after your blood pressure monitor and, you know, just look after it properly, it will probably last you a lifetime. So with good care, it'll be completely fine. Now, one of the things to look out for is signs that you need a new cuff, for example, blood pressure cuff, is the Velcro no longer sticking together well? You know, is the cuff sliding down your arm? Is it just not able to hold? Is the cuff leaking air? All right, that's a big one. And many of our A&D medical devices, our blood pressure monitors, actually have cuff leak detection. All right, so the actual monitor detects a cuff leak and actually tells you, hey, there's something wrong with the cuff. So these are the sort of safety features that we have on our monitors. Again, as if you have a crack in your cuff, for example, if it's suddenly giving you inconsistent readings. And as for the actual monitor bit, you usually don't need to replace it unless there's actually like some sort of physical damage, like you dropped it and broke it, or the inflation valve becomes damaged, it doesn't fit in anymore. So I really hope that's helpful. Okay, thank you. I'm just going back on the comments of the YouTube video. Let's have a look. So congratulations, great news, great recognition for the channel. Thank you, SCP-731. Thank you, Megan Kleckner. Sir Sephilar, thank you for your donation, by the way, earlier, and thank you for our well-deserved recognition for the channel, winning the award. D. Henderson, thank you for the congratulating us. And do migraines impact blood pressure? Migraines are a bit of a trickier one. and having a migraine can definitely affect your blood pressure. And actually, in one of our videos that in the future, we talk about headache symptoms. Sometimes actually, you know, if you think about blood pressure, we call it the silent killer because usually you don't have any symptoms from it. But if you have really, really high blood pressure, sometimes you can get a really bad headache with it. Some patients don't get that at all either. So it can sometimes be a symptom, you know, of high blood pressure, but sometimes you won't feel it at all. So I really hope that helps. And thank you, everyone, for finding that temperature question interesting. Okay, so we're going to the next comment, which is from Tony Adel. And this is probably from one of our cuff videos again, our blood pressure cuff videos. Why do some machines inflate the cuff so much that it hurts me? Is that a sign of anything? Oh, yeah, it's definitely not. So I've seen that many times in practice, actually, where patients find it quite painful because the cuff is almost pinching their arm, and it can be quite painful. Some blood pressure monitors, they inflate quite firmly, and it can feel quite uncomfortable sometimes, but most of the time it's not a sign that there's anything wrong with your health or the blood pressure monitor, because most monitors, they actually inflate about 20 to 40 millimeters of mercury above your expected systolic pressure, okay? So it's going to go above what it thinks your blood pressure will be, and then it slowly deflates, all right, which you've all probably experienced when you use your blood pressure. And that is to detect your pulse clearly and able to calculate the blood pressure. And it's the exact same method kind of that we do with a manual SPIG, all right? And when we do manual blood pressure, you pump it up tight enough, and then you start to bring it down. You slowly deflate it until you start hearing the pulses. And that's kind of how our A&D medical blood pressure monitors work as well. Now, in practice, there's a big difference, I guess, between high quality blood pressure monitors and very cheap ones. Poor quality devices that are made quite poorly, the cuff especially, they tend to pinch the skin quite a lot, or they like reinflate suddenly very, very high because the sensors just aren't precise. And this is exactly why it's so important you always get a blood pressure monitor that's on the validated device listing. We call it VDL for short. These are accurate blood pressure monitors. Unfortunately, a lot of the blood pressure monitors you can buy on Amazon are not. All A&D medical blood pressure monitors are validated, so you know they're accurate. And also the quality, you know, when you compare an A&D medical blood pressure monitor or the cuff to other products out there, they just do not compare. And, you know, I never get any pinching problems with our A&D medical blood pressure monitors. So that's just one to bear in mind. So I really hope that helps. And yeah, that's just basically it, Tony Adel. I hope it was helpful. I'm just going to quickly go back to our comment section. Just have a little drink of water. Okay. There's a lot of conversations going on between our viewers, which is awesome. This is really fun today. So we've got a message from Tonatiuh Figraria. Sorry if I pronounced that really badly. Good morning. I have a question. Does the A&D medical machines have sounds? We actually do have a blood pressure monitor at the A&D medical blood pressure monitor that is actually a sound one that basically speaks to you and tells you the numbers, and it's one that's really for the visually impaired. So it can be really helpful. So we do have devices like that as well. What I'll do is I will actually pin a comment for you to that device at the end of this live stream in our comments, just so you can see it. So I'll just leave myself a little reminder to do that. And it looks like we've finally come to an end. We've had two more questions, but today's live show has gone a lot longer than we actually anticipated. So I'm going to write these ones down and take a screenshot. So D. Henderson, can high blood pressure impact my vision? And Lady HE2I heard that pain can increase blood pressure. I will answer those questions in next month's A&D Medical live show. So please definitely tune in. We've had an awesome live show. We've had so many viewers on today, so many comments. I've really had a great time answering all the questions. And thank you for telling me that my mic was muted. Thank you for watching this month's A&D Medical live YouTube Q&A. And if you're watching this video after it's gone live, don't worry. Like I said, we have new episodes every first Thursday of the month. Leave a comment either on this live show, on any of our videos, on any of our social media, and I will answer you. All these questions, we list them, and I will answer you in next month's episode, which is actually January 1st. So I'll see you all in the new year. Also, just a quick update. We now have a Reddit page, the A&D Medical Reddit page. So we're going to also do AMAs, Ask Me Anything. And we're going to link it to our live show. So if you are keen on Reddit as well, you can leave questions on there, which we will answer as well. And that is a feature that's going to be coming soon on our Reddit page. So I hope that's also helpful for our Reddit fans. And make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with our weekly videos, all about blood pressure and cardiovascular health. And I'm just going to say one last time, thank you so much for watching. As we always say, A&D Medical, discover precision. Have a great day.